E aí, galera, no podcast de hoje vamos falar de...
Ninguém precisa passar por isso hoje em dia. Tá com gases? Luftal. Ele age rapidinho, em 10 minutos, aliviando a dor e estufamento dos gases e evitando o pum. Porque desfaz os gases ainda na barriga. Chega de passar dor e constrangimento por conta disso.
Bora gravar de novo que agora eu tô pronto.
Luftal Simeticona, indicado para pacientes com excesso de gases no aparelho digestivo. Se persistirem os sintomas, o médico deverá ser consultado. Dezembro de 2024.
On this episode of Bantha Milk Podcast, I'm back.
Intro music.
Hunting is a complicated profession.
Hey guys, it's Bantha Milk Podcast. It's been a long time, so anybody who's seeing this in their feed still, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in, for listening, for checking us out, watching us on YouTube. If you watch on YouTube, I'm going to put up with this hand, I'm going to put up a lot of graphics and stuff on top of here also. Nick has been super busy. I've been waiting to do a show with Nick, but he's been super busy, so I'm keeping Bantha Milk Podcast alive temporarily by throwing out some news articles every week. I'm going to try doing this every Saturday and then giving you some updates throughout the week on different news articles and updates and stuff like that that I have scoured the internet to find. So some very important news and stuff like that. Before we do that, where can you find us? Bantha Milk Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook. Join our group on Facebook, Sacred Jedi Texts, where we repost a whole bunch of memes and stuff like that. That is a lot of fun. Bantha Milk Podcast on Instagram, Facebook. There's something there on X. I don't even know. There is a TikTok account, Bantha Milk TikTok account, that doesn't have a lot of things on it, but it is Bantha Milk Podcast at TikTok. You can follow us there too. Every once in a while, you may just see pictures of me and my family dancing for some unknown reason. I don't know why. So that's where you can find us on all of our social medias. Nick will be back, and we will be going back to our regular shows again once there is also new content to come out. We missed a lot in the past month and a half, but I'm going to give you a rundown of news that has happened this past week. In comic book news, Kylo Ren returns in Marvel Star Wars Legacy of Vader. Show me again the power of the darkness, and I will let nothing stand in our way, says Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is ready to finish what his grandfather started. Soon, the supreme leader of the First Order will follow in the footsteps of Darth Vader with the new Marvel comic series, Star Wars Legacy of Vader. So it's a brand new series. So for those of you who collect comic books, get out there. Get it now. Get the first edition. It'll be worth something in 50 years from now. Written by Charles Soule, who previously penned Star Wars The Rise of Kylo Ren and Star Wars Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith, among others. The story begins with a journey to Mustafar, where Ren will descend into Vader's castle. Later issues will take Kylo to the familiar sands of Tatooine as he tries to unlock the secrets of his family's past. Soule, who first teased the series at New York Comic Con in 2024, is expected to return to the Knights of Ren for a story that bookends his previous miniseries, which explored Ben Solo's fall to the dark side. When fans talk to me about my Star Wars work, two of my Marvel comic runs come up more than anything else. My 2017 run on Darth Vader with Giuseppe Camiculi, and my 2019 series, The Rise of Kylo Ren, with Will Sliney. Soule tells StarWars.com. I think both of those work so well, in part because they were set in parts of Star Wars timeline, full of unanswered questions and the character audience really loves. This new series is not just a combination of those two books, but also a chance to explore an extremely rich selection of the timelines that almost entirely open Kylo Ren's time as Supreme Leader of the First Order, Set between the events of Star Wars The Last Jedi and Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Legacy of Vader revisits Kylo's enduring connection to his maternal grandfather, the Empire's enforcer Darth Vader, and further explores how the events of Vader's past guide Kylo's choice as he leads the First Order. So if you're into comics, new comic for you. I do own DVDs of the original trilogy, and I think I own multiple different versions because I had Blu-ray, I had regular DVD versions of it. But then once Disney Plus came out, I don't really ever pop the DVDs in. But for those of you that don't have Disney Plus and want to buy the DVDs so that you always have them, which is an interesting concept. My friend Eric says that he does it all the time. Any movie or thing he likes, he always buys it on DVD. That way he doesn't have to worry about which streaming service is it on, or is it on cable or HBO or whatever the case may be. So if you are interested in Ahsoka or The Mandalorian, the third season, this December, Star Wars Ahsoka, the complete first season, and the most recent adventures of the Clan of Two, Star Wars The Mandalorian, the complete third season, both arrive on collectible physical media. Pre-ordering starts October 31st. This set marks the first time these seasons of the Emmy-nominated Star Wars shows will be available to own. Like previous Lucasfilm Collector's Edition releases earlier this year, including Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi and Star Wars Andor Season 1, each of these new releases will be available nationally on 4K UHD Steelbook with brand new box art designed by Atelier Cesark, collectible concept art, cards, and other bonus materials. Additionally, the 4 titles will be the first Disney Plus originals to be included in the 4K Ultra HD Dolby Vision, along with Atmos audio for a home theater experience with stunning visual and immersive cinema sound. So I need to get everything all over again now on 4K because I had it on Blu-ray and I had it on whatever. Now I need to get everything on 4K. So the Star Wars Mandalorian, the third season, once a lonely bounty hunter, Din Djarin returns with Grogu. Meanwhile, the New Republic struggles to lead the galaxy away from its dark history. Bonus features. So these you can't get on Disney Plus. Honoring the Magistrate, a tribute to Carl Weathers. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni pay tribute to Carl Weathers, the unforgettable talent behind Grief Cargo. We lost Carl Weathers this past year, so that's nice. Galactic Legacy, the creatures and droids of The Mandalorian. Discover the secrets of Season 3's memorable creatures and droids with the artists who bring them to life. That's pretty cool. Forging the Covert, Part 3. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and the filmmakers explore the expanding world of Season 3's Mandalorian warriors. And then in Ahsoka, bonus features in Ahsoka Legacy. Join cast and crew for a look at the developing Ahsoka's live-action series. Path of the Apprentice, explore the dynamics of Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka within the world between worlds. Ghosts of the Past, go deep with a spotlight on Ahsoka's allies Sabine, Hera, Ezra, and Chopper. Darkness Rising, uncover the secrets of Ahsoka's foes. So, if you like bonus features, both of these discs have it. One thing that I was reading while going through all this, they have not released the Book of Boba Fett yet on hard physical copies of videos that you can buy. Which, I mean, let's think about it. Book of Boba Fett wasn't a very good series, so I understand. But the second half of Book of Boba Fett was basically The Mandalorian season 2.5. So you need that to see where did Grogu grow? When did he come back? Who's this character, Luke Skywalker, that you speak of? All these other things that we missed out on are not going to be physically released. So the only way that you're going to be able to keep up with them is by watching Disney Plus. And who knows? They could take them off of Disney Plus, and then we got nothing. All right, this is a two-parter story because the first part of this came out 2 days ago. And then the second part came out a day ago, where it changes everything that happened in part 1. Daisy Ridley shares an exclusive update on Rey's return, saying things are evolving, hints more news soon to come. I don't know if this is the more news that she was referring to. Rey Skywalker actress Daisy Ridley has given a brand new update on Rey's upcoming Star Wars movie. rumored to be titled Star Wars New Jedi Order, which could mean this exciting addition to Star Wars' upcoming movie is making some long-awaited progress. New Jedi Order will be set 15 years after Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. And based on the rumored title, it seems safe to assume Rey will be establishing her own Jedi Order following the fall of the First Order. Beyond that, though, updates on the New Jedi Order, particularly regarding the story, have been thin. She says, "Things are evolving. I continue to be very excited. There will be an update soon. While this may seem like minimal news, the update to this first Star Wars has given in some time regarding New Jedi Order, and in light of the recent updates, Rey's comments could suggest the movie may finally be making progress." But then, the latest Rey film is now apparently in jeopardy. This is 1 day later this came out. According to a new report from Puck, screenwriter Stephen Knight of Peaky Blinders fame has apparently left the project, which now means the film, if it does end up existing, will probably miss its rumored December 2026 release date, already over 2 years from now. The director, Sharmini Obadi-Chinobi, is still attached, from what we can tell. The film was supposed to return right to screen after the events of Rise of Skywalker for further adventures forming a new Jedi Order. But if this doesn't end up happening, it is yet another Star Wars movie project falling to pieces, which has happened in stunning amount of time before this year. These are all of the Star Wars movies that have fallen apart. The canceled Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie. The canceled David Benioff and D.B. Weiss Star Wars trilogy. The canceled Ryan Johnson Star Wars trilogy. The canceled Kevin Feige Star Wars movie. The canceled J.D. Dillard Star Wars movie. Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie is supposedly on indefinite hold. So all of these movies we were supposed to be getting are all canceled. Disney only managed to get out the sequel trilogy Rogue One and Solo before the underperforming Solo had them put on the brakes to switch Disney Plus content. I disagree. It was not underperforming. It did very well in the theaters. It was only underperforming in the fact that the fans weren't really fond of it. But I think more recently, both of these movies have gotten a new cult following to them. Because, in my opinion, they're not bad movies. They're pretty good movies. And I enjoy them better than some of the prequels and sequel movies. In video game news, Massive Entertainment and Ubisoft have released a new Star Wars Outlaw update. The game's third update since its release back on PC, PS5, Xbox Series S, and Xbox Series X back in August. And just like the game's original release, the new update is available on all platforms. According to the official patch notes for update 1.03, so it came out in August, this is now October. They've had 3 updates in 2 months. The new update is focusing on improving stealth in the game, enemy AI, and speeder travel. This is not the full extent of the update, though. However, there aren't any new features or any new content. The former is apparently coming in the game's 4th update on November 21st, though an update to the aforementioned described as the game's biggest yet. I haven't played it. Nick has. Whenever we get Nick back in here, he can tell us all about gameplay and tell us how it was, and maybe this update makes it better. In Star Wars book news, Dark Horse Book presents Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Phase 3, Volume 3. As the heroes of Iwar do their best to celebrate their wins and resist the brutal Nile occupation, Padawan Ram Jomarma shows up with the urgent mission deep within the occlusion zone. A young ally with a secret broadcast transmission program has gone mysteriously silent. Ram has teamed up with his fellow underdogs to launch a rescue attempt, but he'll need some help from the Jedi as well. All the while, tension mounts as the allies of the Republic prepare for the final showdown against the Nile. I read the first 2 books of the New Republic series, and they're very good. So I highly recommend checking them out. And if you can catch up all the way to this one, that'll be amazing. And finally, Mandalorian and Grogu update. This is all over all the feeds today on Saturday. Mandalorian and Grogu has apparently completed principal photography. Screen Rant claim that the shoot went smoothly, which gives Favreau's skill as a producer and director is hardly surprising. And now we wait for May 22nd, 2026, and the arrival of the film to the big screen. So it's done. Wrapping film and is on track. Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin and his delightful award brought Star Wars Disney Plus back in 2019, and the duo is leading charge back to theaters with Mandalorian and Grogu production on Star Wars' next movie officially began in July this year. The relatively few leaks or set photos due to the use of the volume. So we don't know. There's still plenty of work to be done as the movie enters the post-production phase. There will almost certainly be reshoots backed into the schedule. Can get their teeth on the VFX. Ludwig Göransson can work on the score. Pedro Pascal can lend his voice to the character once again, and the fandom can prepare for some impressive fireworks as we ponder just what is the story could bring us. Din Djarin is essentially a marshal of the New Republic tasked with bringing down members of the Imperial Remnant, and as the final scene of Ahsoka showed, Grand Admiral Thrawn leaving the other galaxy and heading back to the GFFA could we be gearing up for a meeting between the two? There's clearly plenty of juicy plot real estate to build some engaging stories upon. So thank goodness they're done filming. Now they just have to add 2 years of special effects into it. There are the stories that I have for this week here on the Star Wars news version of our Bantha Milk podcast. If you have any comments on any of the news that you heard, if you have anything that you want to add, if you want to tell me, shut up, whatever you want to do, hit us in the comments down below. Like us, subscribe, check out everything. Tell your friends also. Nick will be back, I promise you, and we will have lots of discussion together. But until then, this is Rob from Bantha Milk Podcast saying, we have spoken.